concussion. Feel like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. We take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat in the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, not so tough when lines keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, right girls, let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that, stop that, stop that.
This has been one of the craziest, most tiring weeks this show has ever had behind the scenes. I will explain some of that to you going forward. We have a lot we are stuffing into today's show. At the end of the show, if you are interested in UFC, Tony's got something for you. If you're interested in hockey, Roy's got something for you. If you're interested in intellectual meanderings that are self-involved and
then I got something for you.
Navel gazing, Pablo Torre will have something for you. What Chris Cody has for you is that he thinks as our best athlete, claiming to be our best athlete, even though Jessica, Tony, and Juju object.
Mm-hmm. And someone here was actually a college athlete that you just ignore every time this conversation happens.
What are you, pole vault? Doesn't count.
Sounds like we need to have a decathlon.
My bad. Ricky Williams also fancies himself our best athlete.
How about lacrosse? I mean, I played a college sport at a high level. I mean, top 10 in the country in scoring one year.
Why don't we just let Ricky have the stars tell us which one of us is a better athlete?
Thank you for saying that. Don't you think, as you make fun of Ricky, that the universe is out to get you? No, you just did, and you think the universe is out to get you. Ricky thinks the universe is aligned with him. You think it's out to get you.
Well, no, I know the universe is out to get me, and I need to find a way to make amends, but I don't know how to do that. Yesterday, I woke up, and I had this horrible neck pain because I'm getting old, but I couldn't turn my head like most of the day, so I have on one of those like patches that's supposed to help with that pain, and then I fell asleep with one of those patches on and a hoodie on, but I was sleeping with a wedge pillow. I don't know if you know what a wedge pillow is. It's like an angled pillow because that's supposed to help with my back pain, right? So as the night is going on, I'm sliding down the wedge pillow, not realizing it, but my hoodie is staying up. So my hoodie was strangling me in the middle of the night, and I woke up choking, gasping for air. And I was like, oh. And even now, my throat is still, I feel like someone has their hands around my throat. And I realized I almost lost my life yesterday as a result of my neck and my hoodie and the just general universe out to get me, and I don't know what to do about it.
Well, this may be why
make amends.
I overlook you in general as one of our finest athletes, given that you spent last night fighting with your sleep.
Great athletes are often, victims of assassination attempts.
Preach.
Just usually not by the hands of the universe.
It sounds like you told your body last night, not today.
Mm-hmm. And no, I told the universe not today, but I also want to make amends because I don't want the universe to keep coming because I'm not always going to be on my A game like I have been the last 2 days. Like one day they're going to catch me sleeping. Last night the universe actually did try to catch me sleeping, but it didn't work. I woke up. But what if I don't?
Chris Cody thinks that he is tough. One of the reasons, Jessica, how tired are you? We've just had a lot, Christmas parties and watch parties and stuff away from here. I actually asked Amin when I saw him today, are you sad or tired? As if there weren't any other choices, because it was my greeting to him. Chris Cody is so tired that he's bragging to me. He's saying, you're not going to believe how I toughed it out. Wednesday night, I was actually thinking to myself, I'm so tired, and this is the highest form of tired that there is in the universe, that I don't think I can go to bowling. That's what he was thinking to himself.
Wow.
However, I got that feeling, when you're driving and you start to get that sleepy feeling, and you're like, I start singing. I put the radio on and I start
keep yourself
audibly
up.
actually singing with the words.
You toughed it out, though?
I went to bowling.
Good.
During the Christmas party, I, in a chair across from Lindsay, fell asleep. During the Christmas party. You toughed it out and you went bowling.
Yes, I did. How about me? Huh?
Wow.
You just did How About Me while
How'd you
picking
roll 'em?
a booger out of your nose. That's what you just did on television.
That was a scratch. We can run the replay on that.
All right, we will.
It's
Big
always
difference.
a scratch, isn't it?
It didn't look
I'll do it
like
again.
Jessica, how tired how tired are you?
I'm very tired. There's also something in my eye, so I can't really. I'm playing hurt right now. I fell asleep last night watching the women's volleyball national championship semifinals. Woke up at 3 a.m. with all my lights on, TV still on. I had no idea what time it was, and then I looked at my phone and I saw the score of Thursday Night Football, and I chuckled as I fell back.
Who's Nebraska playing? Because I watched the first.
Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, Texas beat Wisconsin last night. It was a really good night of volleyball, if I do say so myself.
And you mentioned the football.
I mean, you could argue that wasn't a good night. You fell asleep watching it.
Because it was like the second match started at 9 o'clock. That's way past my bedtime.
I don't like
Jesus.
Come on. What don't you like?
I don't like the late starts.
It was like a double header, like back to back, and Pitt got swept. So it actually started earlier than I thought it was going to start, but still past my bedtime.
You mentioned the football, and what I will tell the audience, if you want more comprehensive football coverage, God Bless Football has you covered. We're not going to talk about this here beyond me just saying I don't think in the history of doing this I've ever accused a professional football team of quitting.
Yep.
I always say, look, that's a really hard sport. Look at what they're doing. I know sometimes it looks like when Denver's losing 70-20 that they're quitting, but they're not actually quitting. No, last night the Chargers quit. It's the first time I've ever accused
Congratulations.
a professional football team of quitting. Stugotz came in here today and said, I gave Austin Eckler the week off. And I'm like, did it include the game last night? Because he's not on God Bless Football this week because that has to stink to be Austin Eckler or any of the Chargers today.
The schedule changed a little bit for Eckler. He wanted to come on today, and me and Billy just told him take a bye week from God Bless Football. He deserves it. I mean, that was a rough night last night. It was. That team quit on their coach, and I do wonder if he will still be their head coach by the end of today.
Let's hear from Brandon Staley himself.
You expect to be the coach here tomorrow?
I don't know that.
Do you think you should be?
Yes.
Why?
I know that what I've done here for 3 years, and I know what I put into this, and I know that we're capable of going. I know the type of coach that I am. I believe in myself. But again, this isn't about me. This is about a group that's hurting in there. We got to get some rest, and we got to get ready for Buffalo.
Oh, no, it's over for Staley, and we've chronicled it here in audio. I believe we've been better than just about anyone outside of the L.A. market covering the Chargers here through audio. Let's hear some of the descent of Brandon Staley this year.
Yeah, we just lost a game in overtime, Jeff. So how do you think the mood is?
Jeff is my friend, Jeff Miller from the LA Times, and the other writers, because he's the elder statesman, expect him to ask the questions that bother the coach. So let's hear some more Staley sound.
I have full confidence, like I've told you, and like I've told you from the beginning, I have full confidence in our way of playing. Full confidence in myself as the play caller, in the way that we teach, and the way that we scheme. Full confidence in that. We got to bring this group together and do it consistently, okay? And that's where it's at. So you can stop asking that question, okay? I'm going to be calling the defenses, okay? So we're clear. So you don't have to ask that again.
So he called that defense last night.
Mm-hmm.
Stugotz, what can people get on God Bless Football? You and Billy have already done it. You rushed in to do it after Billy was attacked by his wedge pillow and survived it somehow.
Yeah, fending off the universe. We have Quincy Williams on from the Jets. They play the Dolphins this weekend. We have Chris Sims, Mike Golick, the picks, all that stuff. But my favorite guest this week is Peter King. Billy loves Peter King, and Peter King loves Billy Gill. They share a passion for doing dishes. That's all I got for you, man.
That's true. We have arranged, he said anytime, and then we said next week, and he said, I can't next week. But we've arranged in January to do a podcast together where we're both washing dishes at the same time. So pretty excited.
Sounds like terrible audio, if you ask me. Do you ever talk to any of your friends on the phone while they're doing the dishes? It's just like cling, cling, water. It's the worst.
Do any of you, put it on the poll, please.
I should be a Foley artist.
Juju at Le Batard Show, put it on the poll. Do you go to the bathroom while talking to your friends on the phone?
Every day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
No.
Yeah.
You just make sure you do it when they're in a long run. You mute. You're good to go.
On FaceTime, too.
Do any of you not mute?
You FaceTime your friends from the bathroom?
Yeah, I'll be talking on the phone and then on FaceTime, and then I'll just kind of put it upside down.
Keep it shoulder up.
No, upside down.
I don't know how
On
to
the
mute.
counter.
Yeah.
Why are you FaceTiming then?
Because I'm having a conversation, but I have to go take a leak, and then I put it upside down. Easy.
I'm happy to hear your FaceTiming. Everyone shames me for FaceTiming.
Oh, Dano, I FaceTime all the time.
You're one of the few that I've met who always FaceTime.
It's not the FaceTime from you. It's you doing it without a shirt on.
No, that's not all the time. It's very infrequently
that
it's without a shirt on. I do that to you to make you uncomfortable because I think it's funny. I'm not and Skipper occasionally.
I want to talk about one thing that I found the most interesting from Brandon Staley last night. You know how Robert Saleh before the games does the stairs? He looks like someone that gets a pregame workout in. Man.
Brandon Staley does. Famously, he does like.
No, that's where I was going with this.
He's struggling today.
Yeah,
He's got a
and then
little
this
thing
is
in
what
his
I saw
throat.
a video of Brandon Staley before the game. If you're looking right here,
it's
I
a
was
little
like,
cat-cow
my
right
guy
there.
right here is getting after it before the
But
game.
you're saying if we're looking right here and all you're looking at is something the audience cannot see that is in preview that you have asked for, that you're now doing your own private show with just Jessica, Billy, Mike, and Tony because it wasn't ready.
Well, you as well. But it's him on all fours doing what looks like some sort of yoga.
It's called a cat-cow.
Thrust. And he's really
tucking the tailbone.
Looks like he's trying to wake up the lower back.
He's doing that wrong also.
And the core. Yeah.
I just did. If you said to me, give me all the head coaches around the league that do this before the game, I didn't have Brandon Staley.
Just Belichick.
I don't recognize him without the baseball cap. That didn't look like Brandon Staley to me because I legitimately don't recognize him unless he's wearing that dirty baseball
Solid
cap.
posture, though.
When I saw that, I thought it was Easton Stick. I was looking at my boy getting ready for the game.
He had a second half, huh?
He was doing that
Keep an eye
just
on
to be
Stick.
seen, right? Like you could do that in the locker room, in
The
your
rare-
office, anywhere.
The rare team that quits yet still has a good second half because they scored 21 points.
It was 42-0 in the first half. It's total disarray. But if you want the coverage of that team, you could find it on God Bless Football. Useless sound from the week. Stugotz, it's never gotten here later. Like I said, it's been a very busy week, and everyone's pinballing off of each other.
It can't get here any later.
That's correct. There have been arguments. There have been there's been merriment. There's been drunkenness, and Useless Sound has finally arrived from the entirety of the week. We're a hell of a lot closer. Well, we're already in next week because we had the Thursday night game, but this is the Useless Sound from the last batch of football games before the one last night that shouldn't count because one of the teams quit because Stugotz gave Austin Eckler the week off.
When you're bad in all three phases, that's what happens. You lose the game.
Earned the right to play today, and he earned the right to play the next week. We knew that today was not a playoff game, but it's going to feel like a playoff game.
I just want to see us take a step as a football team, because it's about winning. You want to be playing your best football in December, and I think we got off to a great start tonight.
We play to win.
Our offense does, I think you guys can see it and feel it a little bit. We have the ability to really start to get over the hump.
Guys want to win.
I'm just excited that we won a game today. People gritted through some stuff, and that's what I'm happy about.
Players will find a way to step up and make plays, and that's how these games are won, and that's what our guys did.
It was two teams going back and forth, being able to go toe-to-toe, championship caliber game late in December, and hey, let's see how we respond.
They're players, they made plays, right? They made plays and we didn't.
We didn't execute well enough today.
We're in a horse race. You're midway to the third, 3 quarters of the way through, and you got to finish the last quarter strong. I think the best thing that we can do is stay focused on us and playing, our best football. I think that's really key.
Let us play the game, and then whatever happens, happens.
We can go through all these numbers you want. It was the discipline part of it. The minute we make some hay, then we have a huge penalty that costs us, and it's too hard to overcome in this environment.
If you keep doing right, it's going to be right.
Thought we fought.
I can't say enough about these guys fighting, the competitiveness they had coming in here.
We get ready for our next opportunity next week. It's what we always do. Obviously, this stings, but we'll be back.
He comes to work every day. We need him to step up and carry the mail today, and he did. So carried the ball, took a lot of plays, took a lot of snaps. Short week, we got banged up last week, but he was a pro performance today.
That's not something that you can do and expect to win football games.
We're human. We'll continue to get better from this. This is the NFL. No one's perfect. So that's that.
We're getting better. We're still right in the hunt there.
Everybody that's in that locker room has been through in their lives and has made it to this point. They've made it to this point because of the they've been through.
Happy for the team, happy for the coaches. Like I said, it was a short week. Not much sleep this week, but they put a lot into it, and it's very satisfying to see the results that we had today.
We're obviously close, and we just got to keep chopping wood.
Forgive me, I didn't hear parts of that because Cody was spending a lot of time yelling in my ear about something. But just let me go around the room real quick. How would all of you, one word from each of you, how would you describe Cody's personality in one word? Tony, you start, please.
Incredible.
Really? Okay. Jessica.
Gregarious.
Okay. I was going to go jolly, something in the form of jolly.
Stole mine.
Mike.
Affable.
Billy.
Jubilant.
Okay, so he's a generally happy person. He gives off good vibes, but this week he is not, and I've got a theory for why that is. But one of the reasons he has not given off good vibes, this is not the chief reason, I don't think. Chief. There is a chief reason.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
But it's not the Chiefs. It's a different reason. I think it's the Jets. I think he hasn't been affable because he's legitimately scared of the Jets, and that's not what this season was supposed to be about once Aaron Rodgers went out. So I think he's just projecting all over the place, but he was screaming in my ear when Mahomes sound came up. He spent the rest of the useless sound montage saying, everyone here, I deserve an apology from everyone in here. Did you see that Orlovsky video? And I did. But tell the people still why you're so mad that
he won't let it go,
that
Dan.
no one in here agrees with you on what happened in that Chiefs game.
He was taking everyone out. He was also, when he wasn't screaming at you, he was screaming at the TV side about the lighting on the Christmas tree in the shots that they were taking, which is a weird thing for him to be upset about.
It's good eye for
Great
detail.
shot. Good lighting on that tree. Yeah, why don't you take that shot where you see the chair? Do that one next.
This call really rattled him.
I did do that, actually. I didn't even realize it.
What just happened with the Dolphins has been passed down in his family. You have to understand. His mother doesn't trust the Dolphins at all and believes that Tennessee game is a symbol for what their December is going to look like. It wasn't supposed to be about fearing Tennessee and the Jets. But tell the people why it is specifically you and what it is you were screaming in my ear, because that doesn't happen very often. You guys don't talk to me very much during the show. You were yelling at me.
I just don't have any clue how anyone can be on the side of that call being right when Orlovsky shows you multiple times through the game where he's lined up over the line. And I'm not saying we can criticize Tony. Hey, don't be lined up off sides. But if they're not going to call it the entire game, we're all okay with them then calling it for the first time on the last play of the game. That's bullshit. That's it. And I don't understand how everybody is still going to do the thing. Like, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is logical. You guys are the ones that's just like, yes, he should call it there, but not the rest of the game. It's bullshit.
That's how basketball is called. Things aren't called at the end of the game that were called at the beginning.
That's
of the
the
game.
opposite,
Yeah,
though.
but this one was called at the end of the game.
I'm just saying, I understand why everybody would want the refereeing to be consistent. Good luck hoping the rest of your life for humans to be consistent.
Just don't call it only there. So they weren't looking at that the rest of the game.
But, Chris, they can call holding on every single play. They say that all the time. They don't do it.
It's kind of like in the NBA where LeBron travels every time he touches the basketball, but this time they would call it on like a game-winning shot where he takes like 7 steps. That's what it would be like.
They called it before the play happened.
Excuse me, have you watched the Kansas City Chiefs this year, right?
I have.
You know what their right tackle gets away with every goddamn
False start
play?
every time.
Yep.
Every play. Every play. In fact, look at that play. Look where Kadarius Toney's lined up. That's where everyone's looking. Look where the right tackle is lined up.
Don't worry
But what
about
if
it.
A yard
Right.
off the line of
Right.
scrimmage. That right tackle and the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line has been benefiting from serially cheating all season long.
How would you feel if they did that the entire game and didn't call it and then called it on the last play? They're at least being consistent, not calling it.
What I don't like is that team and that quarterback finds this opportunity to complain about the officials when their right tackle all season long has been able to cheat and line up in ways that nobody else has. They've been getting favorable treatment all season long because every play that right tackle lines up in a position he should not be.
Them getting favorable treatment all year after the last 2 weeks is insane.
Them not getting favorable treatment just because of the last 2 weeks in your eyes is insane. This has been going on since week 1 against the Lions where that guy got away with it.
Mike, do you like moments?
I do like moments.
We were stolen
Yes.
of a moment.
Yes, but
We
I
were
also
robbed
like
of a moment.
but I also like a public
Because the guy was
humbling.
offsides.
I like a public humbling.
Mike,
And I think
You
think
like that
Patrick,
more than moments?
I think Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs embarrassed themselves with that reaction, and it was outsized and it was misplaced.
Well, he
and I
apologized.
get it. Well,
Right.
rightfully so.
We're still talking
I'm
about
not
it.
saying that his reaction is right or wrong. I'm just saying I just don't want that call
So
there
your
when it's
problem-
not called the whole game.
I
Hey,
just-
if you call it 3 times on him throughout the game, you've established, hey, I'm calling this on you. Then, okay, call it. But Orlovsky showed you 6 or
I would
7
love
plays.
for Orlovsky to show me the right tackle.
Okay, but they
because
didn't
it's been
call-
going on all season long.
But at least they're being consistent with that one.
It happened at least 5 times that he was offsides before it was called. So your argument is
That the
not
ref
being- your
should call
argument's
it
not
before
being-
that.
No, that's not your argument. Your argument was if he got away with it, he should continue. Like you
don't
should just
only
never call it.
No, I'm saying if you're going to
Not-
call that.
Call it every time or
not-
don't
yes,
ever call it.
You're
That's
not
what he's
mad at
saying.
him for
Right.
missing the 5 times. You're mad at him for getting it right the one
I'm
time.
Correct.
No, yes.
That's insane.
So you're saying you're good with him.
I'm saying there's
not
rules.
calling it.
Chris, it's like jaywalking.
This happened
okay?
like 6 days
you
ago.
do
Why are we
it.
still
You
doing
do it
this?
12 times, and one time a cop might give you a ticket. Okay, 11 times they let you get
It's
away
like if
with
he
it.
gave me
all
a
right?
ticket on my way to my wedding. Like
Right,
I've
well-
jaywalked this street every day for my relationship, and then the
Yeah,
day
but
I'm
you
getting
eat it.
married,
You
he
eat it.
arrests me for it.
Yeah,
it's
but-
like what the fuck? I've been doing this for 6 years.
That's the game. That's
It's
the
wild
game.
that you
when
guys
you
are
jaywalk,
all.
when you roll through a stop sign, you say, you
Exactly.
know what?
No, Tony's good here.
You know
So wait,
what?
Sometimes you get a warning.
So wait,
me, Tony,
Billy,
not
let me
considered
just ask you a question.
Yeah.
So are you saying you're okay with the no calls the 6 previous times in the game? Let's not worry about the last player now. Are you okay with those, or those should have been called?
No, they what I'm saying
Why
is,
weren't those called?
I don't know why they weren't called, but it being called isn't what you should be mad at. Sometimes you ever go to a place where you have to pay for parking, and you're like, I'm just going to be 5 minutes. You never pay.
Right.
Okay, well, sometimes you go and you're like, I'm going to be here 5 minutes. It's like $10 an hour. I'm just in and out. Like, let me risk this, right? And you do that 20 times, and then eventually you get caught, and you're like,
Bingo.
yeah,
Yep.
you know what? I had it coming. I did it too many times. Like, but it averaged out. I'm good.
I need to cool
That's how
off.
I do it all over.
Can I leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
I need to get some water.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a common Miami thing. You either pay for parking every time or you never pay for it and you get a ticket maybe like once every third month and it's like a $30 ticket and you probably save money by
I
not
try to
paying
cheat
every
those
time.
odds by doing it like every third time. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's like going for it on
don't
4th and 1. It's like you have to do it every time or never. Really? Yeah.
That is how I do it all over the beach. I just park
that's a
wherever I
Miami
want.
thing.
I never
Beach
pay
is a
for
dangerous
it.
game.
It is a dangerous game.
Your
and
car could be gone.
But it costs like $11 an hour to park.
It really hurts
And the ticket's
though.
$30.
What really hurts is when I get like I'll go months without getting caught, but then I get 3 in a week, and I'm like, oh.
Right.
But you feel like, you know what? This one's on me. Like, it averaged out. I
It's
should
still
have
on
been.
them, though. They shouldn't have been next to my car.
Put this on a T-shirt, please, Angel. We were stolen of a moment, and then robbed. Because that was a Tony special there. Put Tony on the T-shirt, and also put on the poll, have the Chiefs been getting away with generally, serially cheating all year long so much that they should now be called the Kansas City Cheats? Let's do a stat of the day off of last night's game, Mike, because last night's game was special.
Start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, it is your start of the day.
Today's stat of the day is brought to you by Venmo.
The 63 points were the third most by a team in the Super Bowl era and the second most in NFL history by a team that was shut out in its previous game. One behind the 64 points the 1934 Philadelphia Eagles scored against the Cincinnati Reds.
The Big Red Machine. How about that?
You can always reach the show at Le Batard Show. Juju Gotti runs our social accounts and gets the information I need to me. He sends me here a tweet, Stugotz. Nobody believes the fine bucket was stolen. My theory is Dan figured out a way to give bonuses without paying taxes.
You don't get the show.
The second part's true. The first part is inaccurate. The fine bucket wasn't stolen, not the bucket itself. The money was absolutely stolen and has been stolen a couple of times.
The important part was stolen. Yeah.
And I forgot, Chris, do you have cash on you? Do you carry any cash?
No.
Okay, well, you owe Jessica $5 from Fleming into the mic because Jessica is now getting everything out of the fine bucket, and the next person that picks the fine bucket will get nothing, and we will continue to do it this way because it's not fair that because we have a thief among us, Jessica suffered instant death and didn't get any money when I know there was money in there. It's all my money that gets thrown in there because no one else is paying any fine.
I'll Venmo her.
Anyone can Venmo me if they want. Also, I'm confused. So how would we not pay taxes if you're giving us bonuses? I just that just didn't make a lot of sense.
Leave it to me and my accounting and my account. I've got you guys met Stuart this week.
You just pointed at Stugotz as if that's like a new character he is.
I'm the CFO.
Hello, Stuart Gotts.
I don't. We've got an actual steward who handles our finances.
I'm picturing Stugotz with like glasses on and he's just like, hello.
Well, here's what's funny about that. The reason we need an actual steward to handle our finances is because of what that steward would be doing if he handled our finances.
Well, it sounds like this Stewart's telling you not to pay taxes, which is not the best advice.
Stuart, our actual CFO, just started heckling me because he's a Jets fan.
Well, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, he did at the office party the other day. I was just
What
like,
an
it was my
intro.
first time meeting him. He just started heckling me about the Jets.
I don't feel good that our CFO's a Jets fan.
He's like, you better watch out this Sunday. That's Zach. He's like, oh, now you like Zach Wilson.
Well, now are you scared of Zach Wilson?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
More than Tim Boyle. that
AFC
didn't age
player
well.
of the week.
More strong. Maybe that's me being afraid of Tim Boyle might be the most wrong anyone's been this
The
season.
thing you should be worried about is the weather this week.
I think Kadarius Toney being the first ever Fast Twitch energy drink player of the week might be the most wrong anyone's ever been.
Billy's right about the weather, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, I
that
stole that from
slows down the offense.
Weather is weather.
Yeah.
How scared are you, Chris?
I mean, I think my fear is more big picture. I think the Dolphins are still going to finish the season fine and make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get the bye. I think they're going to get a first round. I think they'll win the division and get the first round at home. And I think we can, if we get one of the crappy Colts teams, I think the next round is where I'm scared. I've gotten to the point where if it's against the Chiefs, the Ravens, those top teams, I'm going to be nervous. I'm excited about it, but definitely a little nervous.
The thing that Chris Long was asking me, which became a clearer possibility the moment you lose that game that way to Tennessee and stack on top of it, the Dolphins have been one of the most injured teams in the league, and now they're really injured. And that Jets defense is a problem. The thing that becomes complicated around what it is that's happening here now, future of the franchise December, is this. Last year, and I saw this on Hard Knocks, before that Washington game, did their coach hit. We were 8-3 last year, 8-3 last year, same as we are, 8-3 last year, and then we lost the rest of our games in December, and we all know how that felt. And then they went out and clubbed Washington, and it's like, okay, new season. They're 9-3 now. But the problem that you face is this team is broken, and the macro problem, the larger problem, is the question that Chris Long asked me was, if you lose in the wild card round, do you pay Tua? And now we are headed into a December where it is possible that a whole lot of questions can make an appearance because the Dolphins are injured. And Tyreek Hill is injured, and you just lost.
The Jets are injured too, Dan.
Oh, Stugotz, the Titans
They did
were
lose Aaron Rodgers.
The Titans were injured too.
Right.
This was supposed to be the easy part of December. I don't trust this team in December. They had no cold weather games but one coming up in December, which is usually what trips them up. Now you got a weather game at home. And it scares you because defense in the rain. And your team's hurt.
I just want to remind everyone that Tua is presently the leading passer in the NFL.
He's getting paid. He deserves to be paid, Dan. He's going to get paid regardless of how this season turns out.
If he gets upset by a tough Browns defense or a tough Steelers defense.
If it's the Colts, don't pay him.
You're going to pay the man. And he's answering the most important question that we've had surrounding him, and it's not really effectiveness. Although I guess if he continues to struggle here, and I know they did win one game big in December, but the last few years he's been a quarterback that's been pulled for Ryan Fitzpatrick. There was that weird Packers game last year where he was awful, and people were blaming post-concussive symptoms. If he has another rough December, I think that's a conversation. But the biggest question mark that you had about Tua entering this year was his health, and he's played every game.
Yep.
You're going to pay him off of one season, right? Like you just outlined 3 seasons where he hasn't been the guy that you pay $200 and some odd million to.
Well, no.
So now one season.
The Brian Flores season's a wash.
Yeah, we don't trust the Brian.
One season.
No, I'm two. He was really good last year when he wasn't hurt.
You also saw what the team looked like when he wasn't in there, and how the team couldn't win a game without him.
Wait, this is interesting. You guys do not trust Tua because they're 9-4. He's had an MVP type season. What are we doing
Well, I
here?
think we should. Can we talk about when we say pay him? I don't want him to be the next Joe Burrow. Like if he slots himself in there,
that's how this works.
Okay, then I don't think I want to give him highest paid quarterback in the league.
You want to start over?
No, I think I wouldn't Tua say, okay, I'm the 5th, 6th best guy. Like
Tua would say that?
I'm saying why would the Dolphins off? Like I don't understand. Where's the line? Like, every quarterback's just going to become the richest quarterback now?
Yeah.
Jared Goff was.
Yeah.
You know who else was? Carson Wentz. Yes, that's how it works.
Okay.
G was.
Yeah.
That's
it's a
how
weird
it works.
business.
Correct, but that's why Chris Long's asking me the question. You guys dismissed it. No, that's why the question's being asked. He's gonna, in order to not make it a question, he's gonna have to have the self-awareness that Mike and Jessica just laughed at. No, I'm good being the 9th best paid. That's fine. I'm the 9th best quarterback. That's where I assign my value.
He does seem nice enough to say, hey, you know what? I'm the 5th best in the league.
Does
he
Russell
does. He's
Wilson
the kind
seem
of
nice
guy.
enough to
right?
do that too? Does Russell? I guess he does. Mr.
That's
Unlimited
stupid.
seems nice enough.
I'm
too.
the 3rd best producer on the show. I'll take a little bit of a cut so you could give Chris more.
I'll take 3rd.
They have agents.
Are you guys, as Dolphin fans, going to go into full-on panic if you start December losing to the Titans and the Jets at home before the difficult games get here?
Not the Jets, but I think what happened with the Titans game, and I don't know what they did differently defensively, but the Titans are a tire fire of a pass defense this season. Deshaun Watson had everyone convinced he was back when he came back, and he's terrible.
Correct.
Terrible with a clean pocket
But
somehow.
losing that game, Mike, is why this game has so much pressure around it.
That is a real concerning, and what you're saying is accurate. Losing both of those just makes you angrier that you lost to the Titans. That Titans performance in seeing the season so far is one of the more inexplicable things I've seen all season. It's one of the bigger head scratchers. That and Arizona beating the Cowboys.
Jessica, can you please
But
tell
at least
me,
Arizona was at home.
Can you please tell me, because I don't think we milked this for enough, just how much cackling laughter on the way home from the watch party you had, because you got to experience it. A very fun watch party. A lot of people made us feel very good about our show and the loyalty around our show. We got to celebrate with those people, the Dolphins scoring a couple after a terrible game for 3 quarters. In the 4th quarter, there was a bouncing energy because the Dolphins scored 2 quick touchdowns that didn't require Tyreek Hill and Tua. And that game seemed finished because there's no way the Titans are going to, in the last 4 minutes, score more than they've scored the entire game. They're not going to double their scoring output if they've, there's Will Levis. Oh, wait, what a minute. DeAndre Hopkins, nobody wanted him. Why is he that far away from Jalen Ramsey? How did that happen?
What a throw from Will Levis there. Tight window.
Squint.
I mean, I was already home by the time all of this happened. It was just thinking of how Billy and Lewis and Chris and all the, I guess Tony, even though he's like a Patriots fan, just being surrounded by, being in public when your team loses. This happened to me a few months ago. I was out of town for a wedding and I had to watch the Notre Dame Clemson game with people that weren't college football fans. And they were I was in public at a bar and I care way too much about Notre Dame, football. And they were losing that entire game. Like, Sam Hartman threw a pick 6 early. It was bad. And I was sitting there, like, my knuckles were turning white from trying to just not let it, like, scream at these people to stop asking me questions about Notre Dame and Clemson and the roster and Sam Hartman, all this stuff. Well, I'm just sitting there, like, I'm seething. Being in public when your team loses and not losing it is very difficult. And I just imagine Chris sitting there, like, trying to play it off like, this is no big deal. Like, I'm Chris Cody. Yeah. I'm laughing this off. This is all fun. Haha. But then actually driving home and being like,
Aren't you a Clemson fan?
It was a great win for Clemson, and I felt great afterwards. Great stretch in November for Clemson, finishing 5-1, beating Notre Dame, beating their rival South Carolina after losing last year. Big bowl game coming up.
Chris Cody,
against Kentucky.
Your family,
go Tigers,
has passed down love of the Dolphins over the years to their kids. Are you willing, because your family is not a family that I imagine does a lot of therapy. Your father's not terribly introspective. Your mother is very busy. She doesn't have time for these things. She's raising 3 kids, 2 of them adults, the other one, Greg Cody. And I believe that you've been projecting all week, that the affable Chris Cody, I believe that you have some sort of virus inside of you that is new. It's kind of like the coronavirus in that you haven't feared the Jets before. You didn't think this season without Aaron Rodgers was going to be the one that had fearing of the Jets in it. You've never in your life feared the Jets.
If you're right, I'm not aware of it.
That's how it works. Blind spots
I know,
in therapy. You learn about yourself.
I'm not saying you're wrong. As far as I'm just mad at everybody about the Chiefs thing. That's in my mind. That's all it is.
Let it go, man.
Are you afraid of the Jets for real?
This game.
You're afraid of this game?
This game.
You shouldn't be, Chris.
I think what I said before is what I actually feel. I think I'm afraid of the big picture. I don't think I'm afraid. All right, I'm afraid of the Jets.
You could be afraid of their defense. You could be afraid that it's going to be really bad weather and anything can happen. But
Sauce Gardner.
Did you see the last 4 minutes you saw played? Like, that can lose to the Jets. Like, what are you doing?
Zach Wilson's got a big arm.
I wouldn't fear Boyle in this situation.
I don't know what I think.
It's just fear and blind spots for you. Juju, would you be kind enough, please, to put on the poll, did you know that there were once a Cincinnati Reds in football? Billy, I hate, things are moving very fast here, so I hate to give you a production advice on God Bless Football that I believe will be an accent of improvement on it on air, but there has not been time this week to talk off air. Somebody has written in with what I think is good advice when they say, does Stu think he's some kind of football wizard waving his hands around like that, casting spells? I would like him to have a segment where he is dressed as a wizard or where he goes fully into sausage-fingered.
The football wizard.
Sausage-fingered wizard of wonder with football analysis to just, add some video elements to God Bless Football that will dress it up a little bit and make him an actual wizard. Can you help me with that, please?
I will pass that along.
You're in charge. I need you to do it. Thank you.
Who are you passing it along
that's,
to?
You're passing it along to yourself. Try to avoid your sleep wedge strangling you.
That's the universe coming after me, and I told you I'm trying to make amends.
I know, but I need you to make amends with you run that podcast and you're not passing stuff along. I want to see him as a wizard.
We have a co-founder with a very strong costume kink. You're going to have to do this.
Yep, and I will take my chances with however it is that this lands and whatever
I do like a costume.
Whatever grievances you have. He doesn't. The only time he's ever been in a costume was the one when we made him Machine Gun Skippy.
That was great.
He doesn't like it. He really doesn't like it. I heard, by the way, can someone tell me if this is true? Someone tell me if this is true, that John Skipper was giving his State of the Union address. I was not here, and somebody accidentally hit the thumbs down emoji.
I'm sorry.
On what he was saying.
Who could that have been?
The jury's still out on whether it was an accident.
It was terrible timing. He
The
was
worst
talking about
timing, yes.
we Meadowlark, we wanted to be a place where everyone enjoys coming to work, and a thumbs down emoji just showed up over the New York office.
Believe he
full
was
of
talking
30 people.
Believe he was talking about diversity. Pending investigation. Very serious about this. Not good.
Is it the same person who stole the fine bucket? Like, who did this? Is this the universe conspiring against me, making my partner think that someone in our midst is an anarchist? Who's the thumbs down? Who did this?
It was Zoom, apparently, but I've never heard a meeting go more quiet than when he said, "You can leave," and everybody was like,
It's crazy. I felt bad for John because it was the worst possible timing, and no one knew how it got there.
Wait a minute. He was
and how to make it go away.
Absolutely no one.
He was arguing with
Still a mystery to this day.
He was just kind of like, because he's a little under the weather and he's not with us. He was on Zoom and he's just like, whoever's doing that, please stop doing that right away.
And then it happened again.
If you're not happy with the meeting, you can kindly leave.
Then I did it twice.
Let's go to the bucket of death. It's going to be the death of me. The whole thing.
Zoom?
Put it on my tombstone. Just a thumbs down. A thumbs down emoji. Jessica, are you picking for yourself or others here? Everyone's got to go to the bucket.
Myself is and others. That's a callback from 3 years ago. Okay. I'm picking for, depending on how good this helmet is.
That's not how that goes.
No, go sit in the penalty box.
We got the Browns.
We can't lose
No, we
anybody.
can't do that.
for
yeah,
me.
we can't do
Should
it.
I put this back?
She can
who are
pick
the
from the
Browns
penalty
playing?
box.
Playing the Bears.
She can pick from the penalty box. Chris, you go. That's not how we're doing it.
She can't pick
Not
from the
at the
penalty
Bears.
box.
They're hosting
again.
the Bears.
Jared Bear has the Browns. They're a favorite. That's a good pick for Jared Bear.
There's no microphone in the penalty box.
That is a good pick. Yep.
And I have the Patriots. Putting that back. Do they have a bye?
No more buys.
God damn it.
We're
They
double
play
I
buys,
was a bye
Jess.
last week. I'm a little late for a bye.
I want her out of the room. Hurry up, please.
Too bad.
The golden helmet of life.
What that is.
The golden helmet of life.
Out.
I'm going with my dad first. No funny business here, Dan.
The golden helmet of life.
For my dad, he gets the Rams. 7-point favorite. He's keeping it.
Against Washington.
I'm going for me now. No funny business here, Dan. I got you. Saints. This is a weird one. The Saints should never be a 6-point favorite. I know it's against the Giants. I will keep it.
Well, that's why.
They're I've got 4.5
I saw
point
6.
favorite. 4.5 point favorite against the Giants.
I'm going to keep it even though
You should keep it, yeah.
I'm picking for Lucy, I've been told. I have the Jets.
Oh, boy.
I put it back.
They're a 9-point dog. The Jets.
Put it back.
They're all scared.
Watch out for the weather.
This is great.
Well, who's scared? I put it back because I think they're going to lose. I have the Eagles now for losing.
Monday Night
great.
Football, 3.5-point spread.
At Seattle. For myself, I have the Jets. I'm going to put that back. Now I have for myself the Eagles.
That's the Panthers.
That's the Panthers.
Oh.
It's a joke because before I had the Jets.
Nice.
They are a 3-point dog at home against the Falcons.
It's tricky to pull that joke off. So he has the Panthers.
All right, I'm picking for Roy and myself. Roy will go first as the elder statesman. He gets the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Good lighting on Tony.
Thank you. Who do they play?
The Buccaneers.
That's Packers. That's a good game.
Yeah, at the Packers.
A little fun one
At
there.
Green Bay, though, Tom.
3.5-point dog.
I'm going to put it back
It's
to
a big
Roy.
game.
Here we go. Let's see. No funny business. Even though when I pick the golden helmet of life, something happens. He gets the Dolphins. Let's see. This one will be for me. Let's see. This one right here. The Commies.
They are a 7-point dog at the
No,
Rams.
absolutely not.
Point fest. Point fest.
Over.
If I could take the over, that'd be fun. But...
You
All right,
can't.
here we go. The Seahawks against the Eagles on Monday night.
right.
You know the Eagles have never beaten the Seahawks in the last, 15 years or something? It's a crazy stat.
All right, everyone's just picking for themselves here on out. I will make this quick.
They're due, Tony.
Minnesota Vikings.
Their fourth quarterback, as they are
At Bengals plus
3.5-point dog.
I'm not going against Jake Browning. I'm putting that one back.
What a sentence.
I can't believe Nick Mullins versus Jake Browning should be a real doozy.
They're both in the playoffs.
Pittsburgh Steelers, no choice but to keep that, but I like it anyways.
They are a 2.5-point dog at the Colts. Is that Trubisky? Is that going to be Trubisky as
Yeah,
the quarterback?
but good defense. Time to get off the schneid. I trust Coach.
Versus Minshew. What a season.
It's all backup quarterbacks.
The starting QBs this year, or right now for this week, are insane.
Rummaging. Oh, I got one, Dan. I got one. The Colts.
Colts 2.5-point favorite against the Steelers at home.
I'll keep it. Minshew Mania.
Okay, let's see here what I got. I've got the Giants. I'm putting that back.
Really?
At the Saints, underdog.
Don't believe in Tommy, huh?
Yes. What's going on with Tommy's agent? Do we know anything? Are we at the pop culture
He's
portion?
getting to the Hall of Fame this week.
That was quick.
Oh, the Italian Sports Hall.
Yeah, of
Hall of
course.
Fame.
The bucket of death. I've got the instant death and
No money.
It's unbelievable. And all my money goes to Jessica. Instant death. But on the
taxes, though.
and on the plus side, my costume.
Stuart
king.
says he doesn't have to pay those.
It's sort of unbelievable what
Yeah,
just happened there.
You don't actually get mad at that.
What
I don't know. You get to dress up as Gumby or something like that, and you're like, oh, we're Gumby's friend this time. A weird horse.
When Billy talks about the universe conspiring against him, I now believe that there is no greater symbol of you guys and the universe disrespecting me than the entirety of what that segment is, which I've wanted gone for years, and none of you do the punishment. And so on behalf of our company, I acknowledge that it is funny that I'm the one who gets stuck again and again doing the costumes, as none of you do the costumes
Falsehoods.
for
I was
years
dressed up
until
this
now.
week.
Until now, which is why you see I want to do the costumes so that I have the
You finally admitted it.
the comic relief. No, I'd like everyone else to do the costumes and respect.
I was Rocky.
Given your kink, that makes me feel a little awkward.
And respect. I want the bucket of death respected.
Well, it's Death-cember now, so yep, payoff's coming. Big time.
Tony, you had mentioned that you went to the dry cleaner for the first time. What was the occasion? Why did you have to go to the dry cleaner for the first time?
So, Dano, I have a family wedding this weekend, and I realized all of my white shirts that I wear under suits are dirty. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to the dry cleaner. It is the first time in my adult life that I myself am going to the dry cleaner to drop things off. I've always been to like pick stuff up for my dad or for people. But this is the first time I walked in with a plan. My wife's like, hey, how about you take some of my dresses? We can kind of do a 2-in-1. That way everything gets ready. I'm like, all right, cool. So Wednesday night, very late, like 6:30, they're about to close. I drive up. It's kind of dark inside the place. So that was probably my first cue of like, I probably shouldn't go to this one. It's right next to my house, though. So I pull in, and I go to open the door, and it's locked. So I kind of like look inside, and there's a guy on the other side of the glass kind of looking at me. So I kind of wave him over to the door, and I'm like, hey, come on. So we open the door. He's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, I want to drop off my stuff to the dry cleaner, right? And he's like, yeah, oh, come on. So we get in. I drop off all my stuff. I got 3 white shirts, a black one, and then a couple of my wife's dresses that she uses for weddings and stuff. One has a big stain, and she got a drink spilled on her. The pricing, Dan, have you been to a dry cleaner recently?
Yes.
It's very expensive.
Well, dresses certainly are. If you're getting something that's well made, dry cleaned, they will charge you in order to not damage it.
$170 was my tab on this dry cleaner. Is that normal? Did I get ripped off? Like, is this a shady place that I went to?
7 items? Six items?
7 items and a couple nice dresses, $170.
But he needed it one day to the next also.
The 3 shirts, one day to the next.
Oh, that's where they get you. If you're doing it on their time and
Next
it's like
day
you drop it off
service,
Monday,
yes,
it'll be ready
right.
Thursday, it's a little cheaper.
It was like Wednesday, I need it today, like tomorrow.
Did he get ripped off?
$170.
That feels like a lot. But I've been charged a lot, but that seems more.
Jessica, would you help me, please, with the dresses? Because I know my wife's dresses sometimes, it can be expensive to get that stuff cleaned.
My dresses do not cost that much money, but I also have a dry cleaner who, I go in and he's like, you're a regular and you're a local. Don't worry about this. He'll give me some, here in Miami. Because, my last dress I wore to this stupid wedding where stupid Notre Dame lost to stupid Clemson, something got spilled on that. And he's like, I ran it 3 times. Don't worry. I'm going to get the stain out for free. And I was like, thank you.
The guy told me, he's like, I don't know if I can get the stain out. I'm like, what do you mean?
The dry cleaners is the only place where loyalty still matters in America. You go back to the same dry cleaner, they will take care of you.
But, Tony, that's a heady play by your dry cleaner because he's telling you how hard this is going to be and how difficult it's going to be to get it to you by tomorrow.
They're in Quiznos.
Put it on the poll, please. Is the dry cleaner the only place in America where loyalty still matters?
They're in Quiznos.
Put parenthetically, there.
He's right.
There, and Quiznos.
I think there's 7 of them left.
I don't think that's right.